Okay, so the next part is the interesting part. So future. So when we talk about stocks, we talk about gold and all these. The way that's being introduced in the decentralized manner is through future. So future, I like about future is that it's a very traditional finance derivative that's widely understood. So we're not creating new mechanism here. And for people who comes into this space who want to check out DeFi, they can understand future very, very easily. But we're going to roll out the decentralized twist. And the use case is that we with through future a trader can long or short an asset. So and future that we're gonna support is either with a fixed expiry, which means you will trade for a certain price that for a fixed date, or perpetual swap, which means without expiry. So it's gonna go on and on and on. If you long Tesla, for example, you can long it perpetually until you feel like, okay, maybe it's time for me to exit my position now, or maybe it's time for me to short now. So you can decide which one you wanna participate. And so future is provided with price oracle to allow the token to track the price of real world asset, because the blockchain needs the real world data to be able to offer a future token. And fixed expiry future obviously expires at the fixed asset at a fixed settlement time, and all the holder of that token will be settled with a fixed asset price at a settlement time. So that makes it really easy. And perpetual swap means the future doesn't expire, but we obviously need something to attract the rate, to drive the rate to be close to the real world rate. So there will be a funding rate that takes every periodically. So we can also allow operator to set how frequent should funding rate be, should funding take place. Traditionally on centralized exchange is currently 8 hours, but we can open up for any period that the operator decides. So this can also create a very interesting experiment that some might set really short, some might set really long, and we can see how that works out in the end. So I'm not going to go into too much details on how funding rate will work, but you can read up a bit more on that on your own. Yeah. So the way that the future works is that you're going to have to open a margin contract that's backed by DeFi or other tokens like Bitcoin or other tokens that the operator think that's okay for you to set the margin. So for you to start the margin contract. So margin contract is to support your position. So you always have to over collateralize. Even if you're short, even if you're long, you have to have enough in your margin contract to support your position. Uh, and yeah, and so there will be settlement and there will be perpetual swap, and there will be liquidation mechanism as well. Like if there's not enough in the margin contract to support your position, there will be liquidation. So it's currently still undecided whether liquidation is automated because uh, or or it requires a community to put in a transaction to trigger liquidation. This is the cool thing about native DeFi, where on Ethereum you always require somebody to push something for it to occur. On native DeFi, it can occur naturally because we are making natively and we're making it as part of the consensus. So if we can actually trigger liquidation automatically, if possible, but we also have to make sure that it doesn't affect um, the performance of the node too much when we do too many automation. So we have to make a balance there. It's not a technical problem that we cannot make it automated, but we have to make it a good balance to not affect the node operation. Like if it's going to be too expensive to run a node, expensive in terms of compute resources, then it will definitely not be ideal. And we can always incentivize the community to trigger liquidation when a certain position, certain margin contract drops below a certain level. So both ways can happen. So it all depends on. We have to do more study there with the engineers to learn a bit more. Yep. So yeah, I think someone Tim put up a great idea that yeah. So this opens up a further leverage support on the blockchain. So operators can open up to say like yeah, we can support like 125x leverage support. So that's going to be really really crazy. You can trade Tesla 100x leverage, so it's going to be really crazy. And obviously, a lot of people will get burned with that as well. So hopefully, it's not going to be you. Yeah. So yeah, that's future. So that's how we bring stocks into DeFi chain.